End times. Legendary bandit loose in the building tonight.
Today, the members of the Science and Security Board moved the hands of the doomsday clock forward. We moved the clock forward the closest it has ever been to midnight. 90 seconds.
Weapons forming, but they not prospering. He preparing that table, they gotta watch you win. Tug of war with that flesh. Y'all was cool, now you ops again. Fight the good fight, don't let it box you in. Breath of life, let his spirit be your oxygen. He went away to send it, cause he knew the hearts of men. The spirit telling me not to switch. Put my hand to the plow, I ain't dropped it since. Atomic bulletins, nuclear scientists, all of them weapons only gonna bring us close to where Zion is. At first they won't tryna hear. Now they see it and they get the message loud and clear. When you got inner peace, they want you out of here. If you a speaker, they wanna blast you. You a pioneer. Now that the whole world watching the minute hand, repent or perish. If you hearing this, it's still a chance.
Shalom to all the Jews and Gentiles alike. Sending a strong shalom to the children of light, the spiritual lights, the star seeds. Namaste to all. Y'all already know what the deal is. All praises to the Most High. All praises to Enoch 𝐁𝐨𝐤𝐬. All praises to 𝐁𝐤𝐬 Yahuwah Sabaoth through the Holy Shekinah. Acknowledgement to our big brother, Yahushua HaMashiach, Yahushua, Matzah the Lamb, 𝐯𝐢𝐝, Yesiah the Messiah, Yahusha, the Lion from the tribe of Yehuda, the one they call Jesus Christ. So today, we're going to be talking about the fallen angels, the fallen masters of light, and their grotesque beings. And believe it or not, Predator, Alien, the Greys, Cyclops, they all gonna come back and they gonna be munching on the wicked. So there was a fellow a while back named Phil Snyder, I think. Was it Phil Snyder or was it like Eric Snyder? I don't know. I think it was Phil Snyder. So he was like a bodyguard for one of those underground bunkers. And see, and this is what's down there in Area 51. Okay, so he was like a bodyguard for these underground bunkers, and apparently he got hit or he got attacked, he got shot or whatever from one of those beings, and he had the marks to actually prove that he got attacked. And come to find out, he died. They say it was a suicide, but if you kind of look into the details, and it's been kind of erased off the internet, but there's no way you can kill yourself like that. Apparently he had his hands behind his back. He was stabbed multiple times. He was also shot as well. I think he was also hung, and I'm sitting here like, well, you can't kill yourself like that. There's just no way. Somebody definitely had to come in and take you out. So these movies that they got, like Alien and Predator, like all that stuff is real. All I'm telling you, all that stuff is real. All right, so we about to go into keys. We're about to go into key 306, page 397. We're about to go hit verse 25. In eons previous to this age, the fallen masters and princes of light did not wish to acknowledge the sovereign grace of the 𝐴𝐴𝐴 in our Father universe. Therefore, they conspired to separate the divine image from the similitude of divine light invisibles. This took place while the 𝐴𝐴𝐴 was within the midst of the many galactic trees of our Father universe. There, the angels and archangels of the fall sought to limit the immeasurable greatness that would share their power in using the creative light stream to move regions of chaos into regions of new creation. So they did not want nothing to do with the 𝐴𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷. Let's go to verse 28. In order to accomplish this, the fallen masters opened the biostratus in the heavens and separated the image from the similitude. This allowed the fallen Nephilim angelic forms to confuse the identity patterns of lower creation. They also poured out an inferior feeling of below consciousness into Adamic physicals, so as to seal off their spiritual fate and prevent their evolution from connecting with the necessary stages of spiritual evolution needed to be one with the glorious 𝐴𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷. This bottom below inferior consciousness was meant to promote false states of pseudo-divinity and salvation by working as a message of mental liberation bestowed by a master, so that soul evolution will be kept on the master's level. And soon we gonna find out that they use the Big Dipper and the Little Dipper to keep humanity at a low vibration. Let's go to verse 32. Therefore, the physical manifestations of the 𝐴𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷 in the form of Adamic physicals were prevented from realizing their divine overself. They did not realize that the physical progression was not completely closed off to the direct remodeling of life from the higher planes of creation. 34. These masters, or Satans, we gotta realize here is Satan is also a title, so it's not just a name. These masters, or Satans, were numerous, and until the present time prevented light energy from recycling their lower physical worlds, which would have allowed their world to progress into programs designed for the 𝐴𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷. Thus, even the knowledge of the 𝐴𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷 was limited to a spectral range of spiritual vision. So this whole earth, this whole program that we living in right now, has been hijacked. So ever since the fall, the 𝐴𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷, they fell into this lower density of light. So they running a game down here, but they running out of time. They are running out of time. That's why all this stuff right now that's happening, the solar flares, apparently the banks are failing, and the hurricanes increasing, the weather just out of whack, volcanoes going off, earthquakes going off, the ice caps in Antarctica is melting. Alright, so let's go to verse 38. Hence, these false masters came to this planet and taught a false science of progressive evolution to the scientific teachers of the planet. In essence, since that time, the vibratory levels upon this planet are subject to retrogressive evolution. Yet, in the quest for a pure planting of divine light, man can reach through Metatron and the host that light which is possible to restore a shining Adamic intelligence to this local universe. So we are actually, in fact, regressing. You think, we got all this technology nowadays, we advancing? Nah, we regressing. Cause I'm telling you, when those chariots show up, when those pillars of light show up, these Gentiles are not gonna know what hit them. They gonna say, oh, Project Blue Beam, right? And then when Predators show up, man, you know what? I don't even, shoot, man, that's gonna be a doozy. Cause they not really gonna be really ready to see something like that. I mean, for crying out loud, if you see a whole light being, it's like, I don't even think they gonna even be able to even cope with that whole situation. But anyways, let's continue. Let's go to key 106, page 55, verse 25. The Big Dipper stands as the threshold that must be overcome by man on this planet before he will be free of the consciousness image of the bear, which emanates thought forms of war and destruction. The lords of 𝐁𝐸𝐬𝐤 and 𝐷𝐸𝐻 have sent out these thought forms to keep mankind on this planet continually involved in war and revolution. Let's get a precept. Let's go to Psalms 42:6. Oh, my God, Most High, my soul is cast down within me. Therefore will I remember thee from the land of Jordan and of the Hermonites from the hill 𝐳𝐸𝐬𝐤. So the fallen masters of light, the fallen brotherhood, are using these points here, 𝐳𝐸𝐬𝐤 and 𝐷𝐸𝐻, right? The Big Dipper and the Little Dipper, Ursa Major, Ursa Minor, to keep humanity down. All right, now let's get another precept. In the Emerald Tablets, we about to go deep. We about to go deep, just like when Thoth went down in the halls of Amenti. All right, where do I want to go? Where do I want to go? Is it tablet? What tablet we going to? Is it tablet 6? All right, so it's tablet 6. All right. They banded together as an order, brothers of darkness. They were through the ages. Antagonists to the children of men, secret and hidden, they walked always. Found yet not found by the children of men. Forever they walked and worked in darkness, hiding from light in the darkness of night. Silently, secretly they used their power, enslaving and binding the souls of men. Unseen they come and unseen they go. Man in his ignorance calls them from below. Dark is the way the dark brothers travel. Dark of the darkness, not of the night. Traveling over earth, they walk through man's dreams. From the darkness around them, they gain power to call other dwellers from out of their plane, in ways that are dark and unseen by man. Into man's mind space reach the dark brothers. Around it, they close the veil of their nights. There through its lifetime, that soul dwells in bondage, bound by the fetters of the veil of the night. Now let's talk about the grotesque beings. Predator, Cyclops, the Greys, the creation of the fallen angels. Let's go to key 107. Page 64, verse 32. Yet, at the end of a grand cycle of time, the Father permits these fallen orders of intelligence, some of which are grotesque physical creations. The predators, the Cyclops. These are some ugly looking beings here. To suddenly appear upon the planispheres like Earth, to tempt man like Satan tempted Yahushua, brother Jesus. This is the last temptation that mankind is collectively being put through, to see whether we will serve the lesser space gods or share love with the angelic hierarchies to the glory of the Father. Let's go to key 115, page 143, verse 24. The fallen angels cannot marry because they have violated the marriage codes by impregnating their seed with the Nephilim and the fallen seraphim. They have abused the physical creations, and therefore they came down from the higher levels of intelligence to the lower levels, where it is easier to pick up bodies, easier to pick up biochemical shells. Since they cannot have their own bodies or their own sons and daughters of light, they seize and possess chemical bodies of lower levels of creation, which do not actually exist within their own individual consciousness, save within the consciousness of the higher intelligence. And where corporal intelligence does not believe in the power of the living God. They have unprotected frequencies, which are ripe for being jammed and used by whatever intelligence may walk upon the face of the earth. Verse 34. This is why we have sun universes. And for those that are new, sun universes are something that you are living in right now. We are in a sun universe. This is a testing ground. Sun universe is a testing ground, a testing universe, a biochemical testing zone for your spirit man. Alright? This is why we have sun universes. For where there is not the countenance and the wisdom of the Son reigning in the name of the Father, there arise mutations amongst the species, giving rise to physical grotesqueries. I think I said that right. This is why the grotesque forms of creation that man sees in some spaceships have hideous looking gargoyle forms reflecting intelligence which lives where there are no sun systems of light, compared with the 𝐁𝐨𝐬𝐤𝐬. Let's find out what the 𝐁𝐨𝐬𝐤𝐬 is, because this is going to be a direct opposite of the 𝐁𝐨𝐬𝐤𝐬. Definition of 𝐁𝐨𝐬𝐤𝐬. The higher world of emanations, or the 𝐁𝐨𝐴𝐚tic world, the highest world of the heavenly man. Prototype which is used to create the universal thresholds of creation. Alright? So basically it is the higher worlds. And let's go back to key 115. So it says, compared with the 𝐁𝐨𝐬𝐤𝐬, they live in dark universes, or in methane or liquid ammonia environments, which require different forms of breathing and seeing portals. Something straight out of Alien, something straight out of Predator. What in the world? What in the world? Verse 35. They cannot have the chemistry of the atom cadmon, which is adaptable to all suns. They can only adapt to certain prescribed chemical conditions. This is why they cannot have the human power of the Shekinah, or the balances of the light. As you can see there, I put Area 51 because that's basically where they at. And so, when the grotesque beings who have not the love of the Father arrive on a planet which cannot cope with their form of energy, they can be destructive to all families and all nations upon the planet. Yeah, see, these Gentiles, man, they better get right. They better hear this truth, or it'll be too late. For this reason, the Adamic seed is given the code of 𝐭𝐡𝐢𝐬 𝐭𝐡𝐢𝐬 Adonai Sabaoth. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord God of hosts, to be used as a light protection around the family against those powers not identified with the Father. Let's go to key 206, page 230, verse 18. The Leviathan is the traditional symbol which the ancients took to mean the entrapment of man within a primordial spiral which denied the ongoing glory and presence of the eternal mind. As long as man thinks he is God, he will never acquire the angelic radiations of true creation. And when it means by when man thinks he is God, that's just talking about that Gentile mindset, right? Because that Gentile mindset is worldly thoughts, right? Thinking that, oh well, we the only intelligence in the galaxy. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Don't look no further. It's just us here. You know what I'm saying? Verse 20. For this reason, man remains locked in space. Whoa. We might need to go back to the the halls of Amenzi here. Hold on. For this reason, man remains locked in space and crucified to his body of relativity. Let's go back to the halls of Amenzi. Back to the emerald tablets a Thoth. And we about to go to, what is it? The very last tablet. The secret of secrets. On Earth, man is in bondage, bound by space and time to the Earth plane. Encircling each planet, a wave of vibration binds him to his plane of enfoldment. See, this is why NASA can't leave this place. This is why y'all can't leave. Y'all not gonna be able to leave. Y'all need to go to the moon, and y'all will never go to the moon, and y'all never, ever, ever is gonna go to Mars. You're not gonna be able to. You can't. You can't do it. That's why we know y'all lying. Okay. Back to the keys. For this reason, man remains locked in space and crucified to his body relativity. His scientific consciousness tells him that he is the only life force in the tree of life, which is the galaxy, and that he is God. Hence, he does not have to humble himself to the higher intelligence, which is there to create in him more godliness. This key tells us that the Torah is the synthesis of all the languages, the perceptual building blocks of cosmology and astronomy that man must go through lest he falls victim to the wrong vibrations of the fallen Ophanim, or mind energies, lest he confuses cosmological distances with the technology of the earth, lest he thinks he has it all within his order of creation, right? That Gentile mindset. The Torah teaches, right, speaking on the Torah or the scriptures of light, teaches not only to hear the language of light, but to humbly receive and use the language of light to probe and understand the higher spheres of the heavens and the Shekinah dimensions of the Father's garment, of which the earth is a part. Meaning the earth is just a small spectacle of the Father's garment, right? There's more worlds out there that the Most High has created. Let's go to key 212. We're about to go, actually, page 281, and we're gonna go to verse 25, but we're gonna go about like what, halfway into 25. All right, we're about to go into the bold here. Because of the fallen angels, the Father has declared that no planetary society should take upon itself to cross-match a species with another species, or seed an evolving planet. Therefore, cross-matching should only be done by the Lords of Light, who are assigned by the Father to remake the subspecies into the great white light. This is decreed by the Father's will so that planetary intelligence does not follow in the ways of the fallen angels by creating species with grotesque bodies and warlike minds, who lack the spiritual love of working for their fellow species and the universes of the Father. So let's get a precept in the TSP, the sealed portion. 15:19. But because there were no children of men created from the bodies of Adam and Eve, Lucifer could find no animals whereupon entering their mortal body he could experience joy. For upon entering the body of an animal that was not prepared to house the spirit of a child of the Most High inside of it, the animal was confused and thrashed its body considerably in attempts to rid itself of this unnatural imbalance. Okay. That was out the TSP. All right, so let's go to key 217, page 332, verse 14. For we are on the verge of a great ordeal, and woe to the unjust and who follow after iniquity. The upheavals that are moving upon the face of the earth are in consequence of the great cleansing that is taking place throughout the heavens. The order of Michael is purifying all realms of intelligence, beginning at the highest levels of creation and including many of the space brotherhoods who have used a technology of death. And as a result, they are being removed from the center of the galaxy and set back several evolutionary dimensions. This is why there are grotesque intelligences now occupying the atmosphere of planets like our own. Pause. So the closer and closer you are to the galaxy, the more advanced, the more intelligent. And we about to find out how Earth is actually at the edge. And this is why these grotesque beings are here. For they have been recycled to the edge of space so as to be humbled in the painful path of evolutionary renewal. But these grotesque forms only constitute a portion of the mutations created by the fallen Masters of Lights. Many of these grotesque forms, along with their Masters of Light, who are of the Adamic appearance, are being placed in the regions that will be vacated by planets like Earth as the Earth is advanced to a higher orbital frequency. Privileged are the righteous, for their glory transcends all praise. Yea, they are beyond the knowledge of what has already come, for theirs is the kingdom of holiness, the everlasting abode of righteousness, wherein the family of love rejoices in the Almighty's perfection forever and ever. Verse 20, the seraphim tells us, rejoice, children of uprightness, and light, the children of light, the crystalline fields of light upon the doorpost of your body temple have been activated, for you are part of the greater star seed. So those grotesque beings, they here. They definitely down in those underground bunkers in Area 51, right? Because what you gotta understand is that these fallen angels, right? They working with the kings of the earth. They working with these Gentiles, these politicians and these presidents behind closed doors, right? They got those grotesque beings. They in the cell, chilling, waiting to come out and just wreak havoc. Right? These movies paint a really good picture on what is going to happen in the future. But anyways, that is it for this video, for this little lesson. Hopefully you got something out of it. I say shalom and stay strong.